While you watch Netflix and scroll through your feed, one country is literally rebuilding an entire continent. And no, we're not talking about the United States or Europe. Over the past 2 decades, China has quietly invested more than $51 billion in Africa in 2024 alone. We're talking about entire cities being built from scratch, railways cutting through deserts, and massive ports rising from the ocean. But here's the question no one is asking. Is this genuine development, or are we witnessing the greatest geopolitical move of the 21st century? Get ready, because the 10 projects you're about to discover will completely change how you see Africa's future and global power. In the heart of Côte d'Ivoire, on the mighty Sassandra River, a dam was built that changed the country's energy game. With an installed capacity of 275 megawatts, it can supply power to more than 200,000 homes, turning water into electricity on a national scale. The project required extreme engineering, constant tropical rainfall, unstable soil, and limited access made construction a continuous challenge, overcome through advanced containment techniques, river diversion, and a tight schedule that demanded near-continuous operation. The investment reached $572 million, and a detail few people mention is that about 85% of this amount was financed by the Export-Import Bank of China, while construction was carried out by the giant Sino Hydro and completed in 2017. The impact was immediate. Côte d'Ivoire drastically reduced its dependence on imported energy from neighboring countries and began exporting electricity across the region, consolidating itself as an energy hub in West Africa. More than a power plant, this dam became a strategic pillar of sovereignty, industrial development, and economic stability. But if you found that impressive, hold on tight. On the Kwanza River in Angola, a hydroelectric plant is being built that will generate 2,172 megawatts, more than double the country's entire current energy capacity. The price tag, $4.5 billion, financed by the Chinese Development Bank. China Geopolitical Group, the same company that built the Three Gorges Dam in China, mobilized 10,000 workers for this colossal project. When it is completed, Angola will not only light up its own homes, it will export electricity to Namibia and South Africa, becoming a regional energy hub. And at the top of this energy category stands the Nigerian titan, the Mambia Hydropower Project. Located on the Donga River, this masterpiece will generate 3,050 megawatts, 1.5 times the capacity of the famous Hoover Dam in the United States. With an investment of $5.8 billion, Sino Hydro took on the challenge alongside Nigerian companies. Launched in 2018, it is expected to be fully operational by 2030, supplying nearly a quarter of Nigeria's current electricity demand. But energy is just the beginning of this story. Now let's talk about what truly moves the world: ports and trade. In Walvis Bay, Namibia, $300 million turned an ordinary port into a regional giant. China Harbor Engineering Company dredged channels, reclaimed 40 hectares from the sea, and built a new 600-meter pier. The result? Annual capacity jumped from 350,000 to 750,000 TEUs, standard 20-foot containers. To put that into perspective, if you lined up all those containers, they would stretch from New York to Los Angeles and back. Walvis Bay now competes with the port of Valencia, the 5th busiest port in Europe, and serves as a commercial hub for Botswana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. But that's nothing compared to what is being planned in Tanzania. The port of Bagamoyo, with an estimated cost of $10 billion, promises to be the crown jewel of African maritime trade. China Merchants Port is leading this project, located just 75 kilometers north of Dar es Salaam. Once completed, it will have the capacity to handle 20 million TEUs per year, 7 times more than Mombasa, currently the largest port in East Africa. 20 million TEUs equal the combined volume of all African ports in 2019. Think about that. Despite delays due to financial and environmental issues, the project remains a top priority for the Tanzanian government. If realized, Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi will gain direct access to global markets. Ports move goods, but what truly connects a continent are railways. And this is where things become even more impressive. 156 kilometers of standard gauge track connecting two of Nigeria's most populous cities. China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation delivered this $1.5 billion project in 2021. What once took endless hours on pothole-ridden roads now takes just over 2 hours by train, traveling at 150 kilometers per hour. This is only the first phase of the Lagos to Kano standard gauge railway, which will extend 1,100 kilometers, linking the economic heart of the south to the densely populated regions of northern Nigeria. But the true star of African railways crosses borders. A 756-kilometer electrified line linking landlocked Ethiopia to the strategic port of Djibouti. China Railway Group and China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation joined forces on this $4 billion project, with strong financing from the Export-Import Bank of China. Completed in 2018 after 6 years of construction, this railway turned a journey of several days into just 12 hours. Freight trains run at 120 kilometers per hour. The numbers speak for themselves: an estimated 2.2% annual growth in Ethiopia's GDP, more than 20,000 jobs created, and a drastic reduction in operating costs. For a country of 110 million people and one of Africa's fastest-growing economies, this is revolutionary. And at the top of this category stands the Madaraka Express, 472 kilometers connecting Nairobi to Mombasa, built by China Road and Bridge Corporation for $3.2 billion, 90% financed by the Export-Import Bank of China. A journey that once took more than 10 hours is now completed in just 4.5 hours. But the impact goes beyond time savings. New industries are emerging along the corridor, and Kenya is positioning itself as a regional transport hub, a gateway to all of East Africa. Some experts see this as part of China's new Silk Road, a long-term geopolitical strategy that will shape the decades to come. Transport connects regions, but sometimes you need something more direct, something that literally brings opposite shores together. 3 kilometers of pure engineering stretching across Maputo Bay. The Maputo-Katembe Bridge, built by China Road and Bridge Corporation, is officially the longest suspension bridge in Africa. $785 million and 4 years of work resulted in a structure capable of carrying 1,500 vehicles per hour. Before the bridge, crossing the bay meant hours on slow and unreliable ferries. Now, minutes. Estimates suggest this bridge will increase Mozambique's GDP by 3%. For the residents of Katembe, historically isolated from the country's economic center, this means access to opportunities and a completely different future. Bridges connect cities, but what if you could build an entire city from scratch? $45 billion, an entire city rising from nothing. Welcome to Egypt's new administrative capital. Located just 45 kilometers east of Cairo, this megacity will cover 700 square kilometers, about the size of Singapore. China State Construction Engineering Corporation and China Fortune Land Development Co. are leading this pharaonic undertaking, which includes state-of-the-art government districts, cutting-edge financial centers, a park larger than Central Park, an iconic tower rising 1 kilometer high. Once completed, it will be home to 6.5 million residents, create more than 2 million jobs, and relieve pressure on overcrowded Cairo. It is sustainable, smart urban development serving as a model for all of Africa. From the deserts of Egypt to the ports of Tanzania, from the railways of Ethiopia to the bridges of Mozambique, China has invested trillions of dollars reshaping Africa's map. This is not just about construction. It is about access to vital natural resources. It is about strengthening diplomatic ties. It is about consolidating geopolitical influence. The big question remains, is this genuine cooperation for development, or are we witnessing the greatest expansion of influence of the century? Now we want to hear from you. Which of these mega projects impressed you the most? The Egyptian city built from scratch? The massive hydroelectric dams? The railways crossing entire countries? If this content opened your eyes to something you didn't know, drop a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss upcoming videos on geopolitics and global development.